How's it going, everyone? I'm Riznich, and just going through a quick computer build I'm doing. Using this Cooler Master half 912 case. Nice roomy ATX case. Lots of cooling options for it. Yeah, we'll just little 2.5. And it's actually got a lot of 3.5 options for it. Like this tray here, actually remove and face the other direction. Turn it 180 if you want. Lots of fan options for this. For this build, I'm actually for the first time going to use a water cooler. This one will be the ThermalTake Water 2.0 Extreme. I've never done one before, so I'm kind of excited for this, and we'll see how the case handles it. I'm also going to shove a GTX 760 card in there as well. This is the motherboard I'll be using, which would be the Asus 99FX Pro 2.0, which has a lot of great overclocking options for it, so that's one of the reasons why I got it. Here we have the EVGA GTX 760 2GB memory with a GPU boost at 2.0, which is a great overclocking for it as well. It already comes overclocked. 850 watts of power, yum yum, everything likes power. And then here's the FX-8350 core processor I'll be using. Got a lot of good reviews. I've heard people overclocking this thing to about 4.5, 4.7. I don't know. I don't plan on taking it that high, but you know, if I can squeeze 4.3, I'll be happy. And if it doesn't overstress that processor, you know, that's all good. The next thing I'm going to try and do is, I've never used this before. This is the Kingston HyperX, an SSD drive. I've heard a lot of good things about gaming and, you know, installing on these. Also, I got the 16 gigabyte of RAM, and I got this MegaFlow 200 millimeter fan I'm going to use for the intake. This case says it'll take it. It looks pretty big to me, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. If not, I'll be writing Cooler Master about that one. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm going to get started here. I'm not going to show the build, but yeah, I'll show you afterwards at least. Thanks. Let's look at the motherboard in. Just going to start looking at getting the water cooler set up. We'll start by these 4 screws, and it'll drop off this back plate off the back of the motherboard. It's real quick, just for like a heads up and a pointer. It's pretty easy to determine what bracket is used for the AMD versions, but these standoffs here, you gotta watch. The writing has to be facing outwards on all 4 points. If you don't, you'll won't mount down on the
final build here real
actual
quick.
screws on the motherboard.
So just a heads up on that one. The 200 millimeter intake fan on the front. The water cooler up on the top, which is kind of a bear, but I was able to make adjustments up on the top and have it kind of sit on a slight angle. It's kind of hard to tell here, but there you go. A little bit of an angle, but I got 4 support screws up top. Seems to be working pretty good. I did use the factory thermal paste, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and, while I got this taken apart right now, I'll go ahead and clean it up, and I'm gonna use some aftermarket stuff, some of that thermal ice and whatnot. The GTX 760 graphics card by EVGA, great card, plenty of room still. I really had to do my hard drives first. I have an SSD drive sitting right there, but I made sure I took care of that first before I put that big bear in. The only thing that's gonna suck is that once I add some new memory up there, I'll just have to drop the #1 fan off, which isn't that big of a deal. The actual radiator doesn't interfere with the memory, but I'll just have to drop the 1 fan off and it'll be good to go. Other than that, turned out really nice. I love this half 912 case, man. It's like just the second time I've built with it. It's just a really good case. You know, for a mid-size, it can hold a lot of stuff, and that's why some people don't really like it, because it is kind of a large CPU case for a mid-size, but man, I love it. I think it looks great. Not a lot of bells and whistles on the outside, but that's not real. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the build. Like I said, the half 912 case is really, really nice. It doesn't have a lot of show for the outside, but I'm not really into that. I prefer my desktop ambiance, like LED keyboards and stuff like that. But to me, that stuff's kind of useful because I'm gaming in the dark. I like to be able to see all my buttons. I'm not really big into the fancy LED lights inside of a case or whatnot. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but that's just me. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it. It was a good build, real easy build, and yeah, thanks for checking me out. And please subscribe or like or dislike, whatever you want to do. Thank you. Bye.